Producer Ivan Katz here. Do you want to know where Bono from U2 got his name? Would you like to know famous spots in U2's Dublin history? Well, smash that like button and subscribe and watch this whole video because I'm going to take you everywhere in Dublin, Ireland associated with the band U2. Let's go. Well, here we are to start things off in an epic way. Bono Vox. Paul Hewson, that was his real name, born May 10th, 1960. And, well, he hung out with a street gang when he was the king, well, one of the kings of Lipton Village, Bono Vox of Lipton Village. He was also known as Bono Vox of O'Connell Street, and then eventually Bono Vox, and then Bono. And so that was how he got his name from his friends. And in Latin, it means good voice. He didn't like it at first, but eventually he accepted it, and he's been known as Bono, first Bono Vox, but now just Bono, since the age of 14. So yes, this is a hearing aid store, and here we are, a place where the gang used to hang out, and that is how Bono Vox got his name. Morans Hotel here, well, it was O'Shea's after that, and now it looks like it's something else, is where a lot of bands from the late 70s, like U2, would play. And they got pretty well known here, I believe, or at least had one successful show from what I understand. But also, Raised by Wolves is a song that Bono wrote around this area when they had the Troubles. That's basically the bombings and things like that with the religious war that was going on back in the day, and that's what Bono was basically singing about in that song. So this area, rich in U2 history and rich in tourists today who are probably unaware of the musical history of Morans and that in general. Here we are at the site of U2's Windmill Studio, and they recorded lots of albums here. That studio with its graffiti wall dedicated to U2, it was demolished in 2015, but they've recorded recent albums here as well, like Pop and Zooropa. So yes, everyone has recorded here. Kate Bush, The Chieftains, Phil Leno, just an amazing list. Van Morrison too. So there you go. I'll show you the wall on the side. Just look at this impressive list. U2 War, U2 Boy, wow, The Chieftains, Joshua Tree, even Def Leppard, and Phil Leno. Very cool. That is just excellent. Kate Bush there in the corner, you see. So a lot of history here for U2 in past recordings. Again, torn down in 2005. But they still have recorded in the new recording studio here. Interesting to note as well that REM actually recorded part of Reveal here. They recorded it at home and other locations as well. Michael Stipe famously said that, you know, if you're in a band, you don't want to have a day job, and if you record at the same studio for the whole album, then you feel like it's a job. So they traveled a bit to record Reveal. That was in the time of Peter Buck's problems with his air rage trial, so it was a little tumultuous, and they just traveled around and recorded Reveal. And so there you go. REM is a favorite band of mine too, and of course they joined U2 for One, where two members of REM, Michael Stipe and Mike Mills, joined Larry Mullen Jr. and also Adam Clayton for a performance of One, U2's One. That was pretty cool. But there you go. So some REM history here, and you can find REM history on my Inc. video on TikTok channel, and I show you famous spots of REM in Athens, Georgia there, including how they got the name for Automatic for the People, and the railroad trestle that appeared on their first album, including their church also, where they played their first concert. So check that out on my Inc. video on TikTok, and also search Ivan Katz REM for my performances of Losing My Religion, where I play all the instruments, including mandolin, and Southern Central Rain, Laughing, and Radio Free Europe, among others that I play on YouTube. as well. Here we see the Clarence Hotel that was owned by Bono and The Edge for 3 decades. They just sold it to a group of developers, and well, they don't own it anymore, but they've owned it for many, many decades. As I said, they performed Beautiful Day on the rooftop up here, which was featured on a performance of Top of the Pops. So that's pretty cool. But there you go, some Dublin real estate U2 history right here in this beautiful location, right downtown Dublin, Ireland. Real estate, always a great investment. Just behind the Clarence Hotel is this, the Project Art Center. Now, U2 played early gigs here, and their manager, future manager, Paul McGuinness, saw them play here for the first time. So, very important in U2's history. The Project Art Center. Smash that like button and subscribe if you already haven't. Leave me a comment too. Bono and The Edge received the Freeman of the City Award for Dublin. And with that award comes the great privilege of being able to shear sheep. And so they did that here in St. Stephen's Green in downtown Dublin, Ireland. Sometime on a Tuesday in August of 1979, U2 played with the Blades at the Baggot Inn here in downtown Dublin, and it was a historic concert from what I hear. So there you go, early Dublin and early U2 history here for the punk scene right here at the Baggot Inn in Dublin, Ireland. In 1998, U2 shot the Sweetest Thing video in this general location right here off of Fitzwilliam Park, and they had lots of cameos in that video, including an elephant that they paid $20,000 to have brought over from Italy. So that's pretty wild. It's his wife in the first scene of the video, Bono's wife. So there you go, bit of trivia there. Most U2 fans know that sort of thing, though. So yes, on 20th of September 1998, U2 shot the video Sweetest Thing right on this street, and of course around Fitzwilliam Square as well. They used some other streets as well, including this one. This is the Grand Canal dock area of Dublin, and yes. This is where they shot the Gloria video and Pride in the Name of Love. Right on the water here, they were floating on a raft in the Gloria video. I love that song. It's one of my favorite U2 songs, and it's just very memorable. Great lyrics, In Te Domine, a song about religion and actual sexuality too, turns out. That's what Bono had in mind. He was brought up very religious, and he also, of course, was really a late teenager at the time, and so there's lots of imagery in that. Of course, Pride in the Name of Love is written about Martin Luther King. He would go on to write many songs about very, very social and political issues, that being an earlier one that was extremely successful. So I'm sure it looks quite different. In fact, many of these places probably look quite different today than it did back then. But, you know, you can see that they wandered around this area as kids, and I'm sure it's changed from what they remember, but still, this is where it all went down. At the Mount Temple School on the 25th of September 1976, Bono, The Edge, and his brother, and Adam Clayton, responded to Larry Mullen Jr.'s ad to start a band. And the rest is history. This is where it all happened. So that's pretty cool, huh? Really kind of a neat little neighborhood here, although Bono did not live close by. He had to be driven here. He used to go to another school. His parents agreed that he would be brought up with two different religious backgrounds. Well, his older brother and him. And so he transferred to this school, and that is how fate intended for U2, the band, to be formed. Amazing. So this is Larry Mullen Jr.'s house, the drummer of U2. And, well, this is where U2 got together the first time. They didn't have a name at that point, but Larry Mullen Jr. said he was in charge for about 5 minutes until Bono Vox walked in. And Bono, you know, he's got the personality. He's got that leadership sort of thing about him. And he said, well, after the 5 minutes, he was no longer in control of what would turn out to be U2. So very cool. And there's some stuff up the street there, and you know, it's just kind of a normal neighborhood street in Dublin, in the outskirts, and nice people living by who made sure I had the right house and everything like that. So very interesting. Still owned by his stepmom, in a sense. And there you go. This is really the first spot that U2 met and jammed together. How about that? Well, Bono sings about his youth in Songs of Innocence from 2014, but this is where Bono really grew up, Paul Houston. And he said it was a nice street with nice families that really shaped his worldview. And yeah, it's just a quiet, nice little street. And this is where he grew up. So cool. It was September 10th, 1974, when Bono's mother died. She had an aneurysm at her own father's funeral, Bono's granddad. So that's very, very sad. And of course it affected him. And he wrote many songs about his mom, most famously, I Will Follow. Well, U2 has played here since the Unforgettable Fire Tour in 1985. And I saw them in 1984 on the Unforgettable Fire Tour in the United States at the Capitol Center, with Bono telling everyone to come on down during Bad, and the crowd control was telling everybody to stay up. And guess who won? Well, we were the last row on the floor, and there were people just coming up saying, oh, can we dance with you? Can we dance with you? And it was absolutely amazing, actually. So yes, crowd control could do nothing to quell the excitement, and everybody was dancing lower down. I was standing on my chair, and people were just everywhere. And you looked up in the stadium, and the top, I would say, 20 rows were totally empty. Everybody had just come on down. Like Bono was going, come on down, come on down. Absolutely incredible. Maybe there's a bootleg of that show. Capitol Center, U2 on the Unforgettable Fire Tour. Just amazing. So they're a great live band, of course. Bono has such control over the audience. Such a great show. I mean, you can see it in Under a Blood Red Sky. That's where it all started. Just absolutely amazing seeing U2 live. And if you haven't, you definitely should. Well, there it is, Slane Castle in Slane, Ireland. And this is where U2 recorded their 1984 album, Unforgettable Fire. Great album. And wow, just amazing to see where they did it all. And what they wanted was a place to really escape out of their own normal worlds, maybe in Dublin or wherever they were living at the time. And they just said, hey, let's all be together in this nice area out in the country. It's about 45 minutes to an hour from Dublin. And they just said, all right, let's record together. So they had the crew. They had their two producers, one of which was Brian Eno, and he was in the group Roxy Music. Now, what's interesting about Brian Eno is that he's not really a musician. He kind of just comes up with ideas and kind of plans for the music, and he's very creative and artistic, but it just comes out differently with him. But he's kind of Svengali, maybe. He's a muse for the band, and it went well. They really had some good music. And what a great album that was. There's videos shot here. They played live from here, I think, in more recent years. But Slane Castle, absolutely amazing. They were running the control room and I think the drawing room, basically. So they were using basically the whole grounds you know, all the crew stayed here, and it's kind of neat, huh? I think so. Probably more charming than I'm making it actually here, because it's really lovely. U2, Slane Castle, there's the concert, and all of those videos. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this tour of Dublin and all sites that are important to U2 and Bono. Yes, his childhood home right there. So please do smash that like button and subscribe if you already haven't. Check out my ink video on TikTok, and also on YouTube. On TikTok, I tell song stories, play music as well, and I have a music video there you can see. So check that out. Past Relations, one of my original songs. But also on my ink video, I play basically solo acoustic songs. I should add some U2 songs in celebration of being here, actually. But I think I'll do that. But anyway, also check out Jim Morrison's life in Alexandria, Virginia. Also where the Doors, Jim Morrison wrote People Are Strange, and also Love Street in Los Angeles. And also have pop culture videos on Andy Warhol's life in Pittsburgh, his house, school, and church. And search Any Car and Drive-In Ivan, of course. Check out my documentaries, Real Poker and Real Reality. And also check out my original music videos for Free Your Mind, where I feature my guitar collection as well as some of my car collection. And again, thank you so much for watching this video on YouTube in Dublin, Ireland. I'm producer Ivan Katz.